Hey everyone, I hope that you're doing well, that the week's treated you all right. Um, I wanted to check in with you now that we are through the ID step for Unit 2. I have provided scores and feedback to all of those that were submitted as of midday today. Today is Thursday the 25th. Excuse me, Friday the 25th. It's okay if you're still working on your ID step and are posting it either tonight or tomorrow. Remember that the connection step, as well as the journal entry, those are also due this coming Sunday the 27th. If you have any questions about any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help. What I wanted to talk about here is a couple of the kind of general feedback items that I've been giving for this first round of the ID step on the timeline. And so, first and foremost, do make sure that you explain how your topic helps us to answer the unit's guiding question in specific terms, right? So be sure to explain how Napoleon's impact on Latin American independence movements, how and why that helps us to answer the guiding question. Remember, the guiding question is about the colonial institutions and how they shaped independence and were also shaped by independence. And so we know that, again, Napoleon's activities in Europe opened a door for these independence movements. And what impact did that have on institutions such as the government, such as the Catholic Church, such as traditional social and ethnic hierarchies, for example? You could go in a number of directions. And do remember that element of addressing the guiding question, that's where you insert your voice and your interpretation of the topic that you've chosen into the conversation. So we'll be reading how you've understood this. You'll be kind of telling us, again, what your arguments are, what your interpretations are. You're playing the role of a historian in that part of the assignment in particular. And again, if you have questions or need any help with that, please don't hesitate to reach out. In terms of some technical things, I wanted to just point out one thing. You'll notice that on some of these, there's still a white box instead of a thumbnail for an image. If you're still having trouble getting your images to display correctly, please do revisit the last video announcement that I posted a few days ago. That explains how to get your images to display correctly on Tiki-Toki. If you watch that and you're still not sure what to do, please let me know what specific questions you have, and I'll be happy to help. The other thing is you'll notice that some of these, just have the person's name who entered the entry or the ID step, or a little brief blip about what that topic is. They don't have this additional kind of longer sentences of information. If you've done this the way that is easiest to read, you won't have a bunch of text here on this thumbnail version of the timeline. In order to make sure that that is the case, I'm going to show you what to do. So we're going to go to this entry on Napoleon's influence. And you'll note that this person has pasted the bulk of the text here in the intro box, in this basic info section. What we need to do is instead, so I'm just going to Control X, I'm going to click Save so that we can continue. You'll notice that all disappeared. Instead of putting it here, again, this is the place you should put your name or a short description of the topic. Go to Extra Info over here and paste the information there and click Save. And now you notice when you click on More, you see all of the entry written here, and it's in normal font rather than italics, so it's much easier to read. And so this is helpful as all of us will be reading and engaging with your entries so that we can make connections to one another's posts. So please do pay attention to that. It is sort of a matter of style, but it matters in terms of readability. Also, make sure that you've included this Find Out More button. This is the link to the outside source that you found. So that one, I clicked it and it opened. We don't need to actually look at that right now. But the place that you add that, go back here to basic info, you paste the URL for your outside source here in the link box and click save. And that's how you get that done. All right. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm looking forward to continuing to read your work on the timeline, as well as your upcoming journal entries for Unit 2.